that's my concern about the 20th. I can't tell you this evening that that is that's going to happen, but that's a strong probability.
So September 11th, the chambers will be completed?
Yes.
To host a meeting, okay. Is that sufficient?
Well, and Mayor and Board, we'll meet again, I believe, on August 9th. So if we've gotten the information together by that time and are able to have a work session and get notice to the public, there's the potential that we might even be able to do this sooner. We would have to vote on it and obviously provide proper notice. So it's not necessarily set in stone that it'll be pushed out to September 11th. And I'm not pushing the September 11th date, but I am in agreement with it. If there's a way for us to bring this to a resolution sooner, then I'll obviously work with the other members of the board to try to accomplish that.
Is September 11th agreeable? It's
Yes,
your
it is.
motion, okay.
And if I need to restate the motion, I can.
I think are we sufficient now?
Yeah, no, just let me throw out some practical things, and I know it's the will of the body, but there are rating agency visits scheduled with Moody's and S&Ps on the 16th and the 24th. Based on that calendar, they're due to provide the rating by the 31st. It will interfere with that, and we will have to make some adjustments with their travel schedules. They're coming here specifically to meet with Germantown. Normally they'll come out when they've been out to meet with Shelby County government, the city of Memphis, but this is specifically for us. So any adjustments to where we are, and it's certainly the will of the board to do that, will have an impact on that. I would like to add, Mayor, if I could, we have Nick Katsula with PFM. Perhaps, Nick, would you care to comment on where we are with market conditions and moving forward with the pace we are now?
Yes. Currently, we've been working on the preliminary official statement, which is, as Patrick mentioned, is the document that describes the bonds to the investors. I actually plan on sending that out to the rating analyst tomorrow morning, along with a package describing capital improvement. The BUD started to be built into yields as we see them today.
In the conversations as far as the date, though, the dates came from PFM, correct?
Yes, I mean, we worked with the city in coming up with the dates.
Thank you.
With Patrick at the beginning of this process, took a similar timeline of the calendar as far as things that we need to do as far as steps goes with preliminary official statement, rating agency visits, and we took all that into consideration. And this is a similar timeline to that bond issue.
Thank you. Any other questions? Alderman Massey?
So is it also a probability that rates could go down during that time period?
Yes, it's definitely possible.
Okay. So if we delay or if we postpone this vote tonight until September 11th, can you still accomplish what you need to accomplish?
I'd have to sit down and look at the dates precisely once we had whenever the authorizing resolution was approved, but we maybe have to move it out a month or so.
But outside of having to move it a month, after you've done that, can you pretty much stay on timeline?
Assuming that we don't have to reschedule the rating agency visits, and that's the only thing I'm not completely 100% sure on. If we had to reschedule those, depending on whether or not we could get them to actually agree to come to the city at a later date, that may be an issue as well, getting that rescheduled. But yes.
Alderman Massey?
Is it a possibility that those rating agencies can come anyways, regardless of how we vote tonight?
Again, I'm not 100% sure on whether or not we could have them come without having as far as with the authorizing resolution not being decided on.
So we just don't know the answer to that.
I'm not 100% sure.
Have you seen it done in the past?
I have not, but I would have to go back and check.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Barzizza?
That was my question. I wanted to understand the reasons why why they would have to move the dates for the visit, and I just wanted a better understanding of that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not exactly sure if we would have to move the dates or not. I would just have to check and get back with you all on that.
There's been a motion, and it has been seconded.
State the motion for Ms. Betty. My understanding is that this is Alderman Massey's motion to postpone tonight's agenda item until September the 11th, and I believe Alderman Barzizza has seconded that motion. Is that where we find ourselves?
That is correct.
Do you have that? Okay. Before the roll's call, I'll just state on behalf of the mayor and the head of administration, this process for the public knowledge has been ongoing for 5 months. It's had over 31 steps. We have all kinds of authorization resolutions and things that if the process is stopped, some of the clock will have to be started. The school district desperately needs a new elementary school. They have a tight timeline to get open by the fall of 19, and delaying this would be a disservice to our GMSD friends. Please call the roll.
Alderman Owens?
No.
Alderman Yonda? No. Alderman Barzizza?
Yes.
Alderman Gibson?
No.
Alderman Massey?
Yes.
The motion fails. We return to the prior motion. It has been properly brought forward in a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Alderman Yonda?
This is the original motion to approve.
Alderman Barzizza? Alderman Gibson?
Yes.
Alderman Massey?
Abstain.
Alderman Owens?
Yes.
The motion carries. Administration appreciates the support of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Item number 11 on the agenda this evening, construction contract, Germantown Athletic Club renovation Phase 3. Mr. Rogers.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. This item agenda is requesting approval of the construction contract with Legacy Construction Services in the amount of $899,138 for the construction of Phase 3 of the Germantown Athletic Club's renovation project. Phase 3 consists of demolition and addition of a new stairwell, expansion and remodeling of the men's aquatic locker room, and then expansion and remodeling of the lounge, customer service, and communal space at the upper lobby level. This project is a continuation of a master plan for the facility that was done in 2012, which included member input, advisory commission input. I was recommending 2 alternates. Alternate number 1 renovates the floor and wall finishes in the main entry men's and women's bathrooms, and alternate number 2 renovates the floor and wall finishes in the men's aquatic shower area. Addition of the 2 alternates brings the total construction contract cost to $899,138. The project supports strategic objective number 2 within city services and finance. The city of Germantown is responsible for significant physical assets. The city believes that stewardship of city assets is essential to deliver high-quality services to its customers consistently. It also supports city services and finance strategic objective number 1, action item number 2, that states to reduce dependency of enterprise funds on the general fund. This project is included in the FY18 CIP budget, and funding is coming out of the club's reserve. Revenues generated from membership and programming fees. Staff
for the construction of Phase 3 of the Germantown Athletic Club's renovation project.
So moved.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Alderman Owens.
Just quickly, Mayor, just as we discussed in the executive session, although we have not had experience with Legacy Construction Services, our staff has done due diligence and researched and are very happy with, at least been satisfied with the other results that they've heard from Legacy Construction Services. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I also think we'd be remiss if we didn't state that it was not too many years ago that the city was funding in a great measure this Germantown Athletic Club, and is with a great deal of pride that I'll be voting yes.
Alderman Barzizza?
Yes.
Alderman Gibson?
Yes.
Alderman Massey?
Yes.
Alderman Owens?
Yes.
Alderman Yonda?
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Brings us to item number 12 on the agenda this evening, Professional Services Supplemental Number 4, Germantown Athletic Club Phase 3, Plans Update, Contract Administration, and Construction Inspection. Mr. Etter.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. This item is requesting approval of supplement number 4 in the amount of $46,000 to the professional services agreement with Fleming Architects for contract administration and construction inspection and plans update that are essential for Phase 3 improvements to the Germantown Athletic Club, increasing the contract amount from $312,500 to $358,500. This supplement primarily funds the contract administration and construction inspection aspect, which includes review and approval of the contractor's submittals and shop drawings, bi-weekly progress meetings with the contractor in the city, regular site visits to ensure the project's being built according to plans and specs, review of the contractor's pay applications and approval, assistance in the project closeout and with preparation of a final construction punch list. In addition, this supplement also provides funding to have our plans update. That's required because we constructed the project at odds with the original design. We constructed Phase 3 of the original design first, and then Phase 1 second, and tonight you're approving Phase 2. So these three phases were out of order. In addition, the $46,000
Meeting this evening, I would like to thank our reserve officers, Eric, Al, Steve, and George, for being here.